Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. A very happy Friday to all of you. I'm Anna Star Glaciers. Connection has dropped, or Mars, and my connection has dropped.
And I am Mark Daniels, and oh man, it's a slow Friday. Like, what happened? I don't know what's happening this morning, Star, but I'm in slow motion today.
No, Mark, you have to say, thank you for waking up dead early with us on this Friday. Yay! And then I say, Mark, you've got so much energy.
Thank you for waking up dead early on this Friday. Got it.
Yay. You did it, Mark. You put it up. And it's a dead wet Friday, at least by me. As you said, the rain is absolutely pouring down on my side of town. And anyway, I'm hoping that I'll do something for my grass. And you always have to be able to just see rain as beneficial, right?
Yeah. The plants are happy, so we should all be happy.
Indeed, we should. But there is a lot to look forward to or to be happy for in this season. There's so many things happening with Russia and Ukraine right now, Mark, that I don't know. I want us to enjoy the days that we have as we know them to be, because with everything that's going on, who knows what that's going to turn into or escalate into. And so it's just really important, I think, that we just enjoy the days as we know them.
On that note, Star, Bahamas, everybody, you guys can just go back to bed. We're calling it a day. We're calling it a day. Everybody just right back up in bed. Nobody's going to work today. Tell them that I and Star have given you permission to stay home today. We're having a sleep-in Friday.
That was definitely Mark. He put me in there, but I didn't give y'all permission for that because I'm up and we got to get this show going. So like Mark, y'all can tell us y'all what Mark said. I wasn't in that. But certainly we've got another great show for you today. We'll be talking about Social Workers Month in our Bridging the Gap segment. And we'll learn about all the rehab services offered at Doctors Hospital. And RBC is here to talk about how they are celebrating International Women's Day.
Definitely looking forward to those segments, Star. We're also going to have the owner of Le Pavillion and Mausoleum here to talk to us about their restaurant and their venture. And we're also going to be talking to the District Grand Lodge of the Bahamas, and they're here to talk to us about everything that's going on with them. But first, it's a little rainy, so let's find out what's going to happen this weekend with Brother Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Mark, and good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at weather at sunrise, high pressure, the down weather feature, and that'll generate some windy and warm conditions throughout the weekend, and that should create some hazard beaching and boating conditions. For the most part, we have some early morning showers. The cloudiness has now moved towards the west, so you can expect partly sunny, breezy, and warm. There's a slight chance of a couple of showers from northwest Bahamas, with variable cloudiness and breezy, with a few showers over the central and southeastern islands, high temperature 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, mild, with a few showers over the northwest Bahamas, variable cloudiness and breezy, with a few showers over the central and southeastern islands, the low going down to 66 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados, 83 and 75. In Jamaica, 86 and 71. In Trinidad, 85 and 77. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 85 and 70. Across North America, Atlanta, 72 and 48. In Raleigh, 58 and 40. In Miami, 82 and 69. Dallas, Texas, 73 and 54. And Toronto, Canada, 35 and 14. As you go to the weekend, lovely weekend start weather-wise, except for those windy conditions. Partly sunny, windy, slight chance of a couple of showers. Low temperature daytime will be in the low to mid-80s daytime, and the mid to upper 60s at nighttime. That puts you up in your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. Social Workers Month 2022 is being commemorated under the theme, The Time is Right for Social Work. Here to tell us more, we're very happy to welcome Andrea Newbold. She's the Chief Welfare Officer for the Ministry of Social Services. And she's joined today by Kalesa Simmons, who is a Senior Welfare Officer with the Ministry of Social Services. Ladies, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, Star. How are you?
I am wonderful. And I'm just so happy whenever you all are on. The work that you do is so important and so critical. And so it's always a joy to get to celebrate with you Social Workers Month and then to learn about the work that you do whenever you do join us. So let's get into that right away for those who may not know. Who are social workers and what do they do?
Social workers are professionals who help to alleviate or have or assist persons with life challenges for them to cope in their environments and in whatever they may be going through. And so we help persons, we would always have social workers say we help persons from the cradle to the grave. And so that's every and anyone that we assist.
Okay, excellent. Ms. Newbold, anything to add to that?
Yes, I always say social work is a unique and multifaceted discipline. And it's not easy to summarize it in paragraph or even on pages, because we do so many things. Like I say, multidiscipline. We have casework, we have community organization. We just do a whole lot of things what persons don't know, and that's why we're here, to sensitize the public. We do a whole lot, and it's scientific what we do also.
Yeah, cradle to the grave, very well said. And scientific indeed. You all go to school, you study, you get a social work degree. It encompasses a whole lot that you're doing in order to make sure that those that you're helping are able to manage and function in society as best they can. So we certainly celebrate that, and we celebrate you. And so now I wanted to ask again in another light, what are some of the ways we might see social workers help, right? What are some of the services even today that people are utilizing that are helping our community?
Okay, we help persons with a myriad of issues, and they include emotional, psychological, physical, behavioral. We assist children as well as adolescents, adults, as well as older persons. So you will find us in almost every sphere of society.
Okay, and for you, Ms. Newbold, who are some of those people that social workers are also helping and serving?
We like Kalesa say, from the cradle to the grave, the elderly, the disabled persons. We help everyone. And when she was talking about what we do and every aspect of it, and I was thinking, I say, wow, in the hospitals, in the military, we all over the place, the courts, or we are everywhere in society, helping people to cope, helping people to better their circumstances.
Excellent and well said. And I met a social worker recently who works in the United States, but she works in the hospital, as you mentioned. And her goal is to just, when people get very terminal diagnosis, like she sits with them, she helps them to manage the response. And I just thought it was so powerful that there are people who actually do that, right? That hospitals and social workers provide this service. It's amazing. You all do some phenomenal things. And you talked about some different places that you work. Here in the Bahamas, what do those areas look like? Are there many different areas that you all work in, or is it a lot more narrow?
No, it's wide range. It includes the hospitals, the medical hospitals, as well as the psychiatric hospital. We have social workers in the schools. We have social workers in the community. We have social workers in the senior citizens gerontology. We have social workers in, I'm in the national parenting, and so we have social workers dealing with parenting. And so we have social workers in the probation department dealing with the court system. And Ms. Newbold, there are so many.
So many. We have disaster management unit. We have child welfare, dealing with foster care, adoptions. I tell you, we do just about everything you could think about. And we do that to normalize, help people be normalized in certain situations would impact them. We want people to cope and be able to, when they are traumatized, to be able to get over whatever their situation is. And that's what we do as social workers.
Excellent. So now that we know y'all do all these things, and I know that I'm celebrating you personally, but it's an entire month dedicated to doing that. Let us know what you guys have planned for Social Workers Month.
Well, we have planned for Social Workers Month. We start with a church service, and that's on the 4th of March. Sunday, the 6th of March, we have a church service, and it's Universal Village Ministries. Universal Village Ministries, Senator Drive, off the Michael Road. It's the road to the All Saints Camp. You go through there to get to that church. And that's on the 6th of March. Then we have on the 8th of March, International Women's Day Forum, 6 p.m. The topic, social work in the Bahamas. Our speaker is our very own Mrs. Deborah Smith. And she will talk about the social work in the Bahamas. And this is at the University of the Bahamas. And then we have Tuesday, the 15th of March, Social Workers Appreciation Day. And we social workers, we work hard. And so we want to make sure we are appreciated. And so we're gonna appreciate one another. And also we're gonna have persons who would show appreciation to us. And so that's a special day for us. Because we work hard and we want to be appreciated, we want to feel appreciated. And the 15th again is International Social Work Day. So we're gonna be on immediate response on other areas like child protection. I'll be there, KD will be there, and other officers from children welfare. So everyone who we could get on that show so they could tell their stories and share what they do, what we do to help the Bahamas, what we do to help persons cope, what we do to help people get over situations. We had Dorian, we had COVID, and social workers are always there in the mix. And so we gotta remember that we are always in there and we always the ones trying to help. And so we now, this Social Workers Month, we want to enjoy and celebrate us and trying to rejuvenate, but Star, I could run on and on. Okay, so the other one.
I'm not going to be able to let you run on and on, Auntie Andrea, because we have such limited time. But I will say that you all have done an amazing job, and we're looking forward to sharing in these celebrations with you. Do you have, Ms. Simmons, like a website or a Facebook page or anywhere where this information is posted?
You can reach us at the Department of Social Services, 604-4200. That's once you call that number, you could get to any areas in social services. But we also go on the 18th and have the in-house poetry. And on the 25th, Social Worker of the Year will be announced at our luncheon on the 25th of March. And we're gonna have that right here in the department. Because of COVID, we're gonna have the tents outside and so we could practice social distancing. But Star, I am excited about Social Work Month, and I'm excited every day about social workers. And I must say, I want to shout out to every social worker in the Department of Social Services and the Family Islands, Grand Bahama, all the islands, and I appreciate them, and the administration appreciate them. And I would also like to shout out to our director, Kim Sawyer, who's very supportive of our attempts to celebrate Social Work Month.
Excellent. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise. You've got a full agenda for the month, and you always have a full calendar of things and you have to do to help the people that you help. So know that we here at Bahamas at Sunrise celebrate you. A very happy Social Workers Month to you and your teams. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We've got more to come. We're actually going to take a look right now at a very special segment from Doctors Hospital and their Rehabilitation Department.
Doctors Hospital boasts a comprehensive multi-facility rehabilitation program with a full range of services for patients needing therapy.
Here at Doctors Hospital, we do have physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, exercise physiology, and massage therapy services. So we tend to customize the services to suit the patient. So whatever you need, we are able to provide, and if we can't provide it, we'll help you to find the help that you need.
Exercise physiologists customize exercise programs for patients.
We have a team of wonderful exercise physiologists here. They're very highly trained. Some of them are trained in cardiac rehab, and what they offer for us is a customized exercise program. And in persons with medical conditions, they can't do the run-of-the-mill personal training. So our exercise physiologists, that's where they play a big part. They customize exercises for persons who have had serious medical issues. And, we have our senior fitness program that they commandeer. They also do lung function assessments. They do, as I mentioned, they're integral in our cardiac rehab program, right? So, they do whatever you can think of in terms of exercise and maintaining a happy, healthy cardiovascular system.
Doctors now offer services at 2 locations.
We now have our new Cable Beach location. And as you know, we all like new things. So it's well outfitted with all the things that you've come to know for Doctors Hospital, the high-end equipment and the specialized treatments. So it is located in that Super Valley Plaza. That's what people tend to call it, Cable Beach. We're right beside Wendy's. And, it's pretty easy to find. And we offer a variety of services. We treat our kids here. We treat our older patients here. Any particular condition, we can accommodate it at our Cable Beach location.
Speech and language therapy is also offered by Doctors Hospital.
Speech and language therapy is needed when a person has a speech impediment or they may have a swallowing disorder, which is developed maybe during childhood or as an adult after having a stroke or a brain injury. I work with patients on a one-on-one basis, so their goals are individualized. Depending on their goals, it might be articulation. In that area, we work on age-appropriate sounds. The child might be delayed in sounds that are appropriate for their age. With adults, most adults may had a stroke. With that comes dysphagia, so that's a swallowing disorder. They may not be able to tolerate regular food and liquids. So we kind of work on oral motor exercises and what we call per oral, PO trials, to kind of find out what texture and what diet they should be placed on.
Krista has seen great success with patients.
There has been so much great moments, I would say, success stories where working with kids and adults, because it's kind of a wide range, you see a lot of kind of highs and lows. So I would say the most success is seeing my kids, especially kids that are on the spectrum disorder, autism. They tend to come in, nonverbal kids I've seen, and you've seen progress. It may be slow, but being able to express their wants and needs, I've noticed that to be my greatest success, being in this field.
Other specialty services include home care and cardiac rehab.
So as well as offering our on-site treatments, we have the option for home care. This is where we provide concierge services. So we come to your home, or in some cases we come to your office, just depending on where you need the service. And we meet you there and we provide a detailed assessment and treatment just as if you were on site at any of our locations. Our cardiac rehab program is a very specialized program, and it involves several groups of individuals. So we have or physical therapists or exercise physiologists or pharmacists or psychologists and or nutritionists. So it's a multidisciplinary team that comes together to curate a program to help you post heart, any injury or disease to your heart. So for example, if you've had a heart attack or myocardial infarction, these are things that they would help you to rehab for. So it's a streamlined program where we enroll you for about 3 months, and you get a customized program built to help you to address all your physical function, as I said, your nutrition, making sure that your medications are not playing a negative role in what we're doing at the time. So it's very tailored and sensitive to the needs of persons with a cardiovascular, post a cardiovascular event.
There is also a uniquely tailored program for post-COVID patients.
So our post-COVID rehab program is geared at treating persons who have had COVID and now suffer from long-term effects. So, they call it long COVID. And with that treatment program, what we do is customize it to the patient. So, for example, if you've had any speech impairments or any issues with voice or any issues with just swallowing, that kind of thing, secondary to being on a ventilator for a prolonged period of time, we do offer that treatment. If you have mental issues in terms of you can't concentrate, you have a poor attention span, you are unable to focus, or occupational therapists help to treat that type of condition as well. Or physical therapists, as you know, we treat the respiratory system as well as the cardiovascular system. So we look at any breathing problems you might have lingering, that shortness of breath, that uncontrolled breathing pattern, that anxiety. We help with that as well, just to make sure that your lungs are working at their optimal. And we also help you we customize the exercises for you, because most persons post-COVID think, okay, I should just go ahead and do and strengthen and do all these kind of exercises, when we've recognized that that's not the best way to go. It has to be a customized program where we show you how to actually slow down and make sure that you're doing just enough and no more, because that can exacerbate your symptoms.
Speech and language therapy plays a big part in persons that have had COVID. It helps with regaining communication skills that they may have been impacted due to being placed on a ventilator for a significant amount of time. Those that may have low oxygen levels to the brain may have experienced muscle weakness and reduced coordination in their articulators. So that is our lips, our tongue, our jaw, and our cheeks.
Doctors Hospital is a state-of-the-art one-stop shop for comprehensive care.
What I've realized is that Doctors Hospital still has, one of the greatest teams of therapists. And because we offer speech, we offer occupational therapy, we offer physical therapy, exercise physiology, and massage therapy, it's a very comprehensive program. It's a one-stop shop facility. You get everything that you need here. And if you need additional services, we have our pharmacists, we have our nutritionists, we have our medical team, so it's a very comprehensive facility. And of course, we have state-of-the-art equipment, and we're very forward-thinking, and, our leader, Dr. Biggis, has been very adamant about that. He wants us to think for the future and think about how best we can develop our patients and also develop ourselves, and that's a win-win combination, and so the patients will actually do better for it.
For Bahamas at Sunrise, this is Suzette Parker.
We believe in relationship banking. We take pride in getting to know our clients. You have access to knowledgeable, approachable ambassadors and financial coaches so that we can recommend the best product for you. At Fidelity, we care about you. From your financial health to your physical health, we can relate to you because we're just like you. Come and start your relationship banking experience with us today. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Visit any of our branches in Nassau or Grand Bahama, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau, or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Welcome back. Le Pavillion Internment and Mausoleum offers funeral services and so much more in Grand Bahama. Here to tell us all about it is Nicole Johnson, owner of Le Pavillion and Mausoleum. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Yes, we here having big joke. Oh, I thought you was a restaurant and someone else thought you was a park. So
yes.
It's early. So please forgive us. You're neither of those things.
No.
Please tell us about your funeral services business and why did you decide to go into this business?
Okay, well, the Pavillion is a multifaceted company. It has several services. One of our main services are plots and niche wall services where you have put the cremated bodies, as well as chauffeured services. And we are now getting into the headstones as well. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons I decided, I know over the years, I've had a lot of loss. And so I always thought, even especially in Grand Bahama, that we could have more options. And so I wanted there to be another option so that persons will be able to choose, have a choice of where to go. And so one of my passions was just the service that we provide and making sure that during your difficult times, we are there to help you ease the burden.
Yes, and you use the perfect word there, service. Most persons don't recognize the level of service that goes into the type of business that you have. It's a sensitive time in persons' lives. It's some key or core memories being created for the family and for the friends. And so you really play definitely an important role in that family and in the healing process. And I like you said, you felt like Grand Bahama needed this and you wanted to serve your fellow Grand Bahamians. So tell us a little bit about the services that you offer. You began to mention that.
Okay, yes, we have double plots. The traditional burial usually are plots, which is the underground in-grave plots. We have double and single plots. We have a mausoleum wall, which holds niche spaces where you put your cremated remains in the urns. And that's 2 walls we have. And then we also do chauffeur services. Now, a lot of persons think our services are limited to funerals, but we also do weddings, graduations, anniversaries, anything you want to celebrate, we also celebrate that with you. And so we offer that first class red carpet treatment in that regard. And also a lot of places, again, giving options. We're now into making headstones. And so, we wanted to be different. We wanted to let people see that, it can be, it's a difficult time, but we are here to help guide you through it. Even in our advisory portion, what we do is give you advice on what is the best plot, how you plan your service, where the programs, a whole gamut of other things we do, as well as grief counseling.
Wow, grief counseling. Yeah, you definitely offer full service.
Yes,
and like you said, any reason to celebrate, and you guys are there ready to help. So
yes.
Tell us, how has your business been affected by COVID-19?
Oh, it was shut down just about the office. In particular, there was hardly any movement. And then also because of the fact the shipping, some of the things that when we began, it was a lot of issues and challenges trying to get stuff in. But thank God we passed that hurdle. And, we are well on our way. We actually did one of our first underground burials a few weeks ago. And, it's just Our whole thing is service and to be there for those families who are grieving. A lot of times it's just stressful, you know, and having to go here, having to go there. And we are really almost a one-stop shop.
That sounds great. Like you said, no one wants to, you know, to have to think too much. And you sound like you're there to help guide people along the way, and also counsel them through this difficult time. So tell us, how did the Access Accelerator help you make your vision a reality?
Well, I think it was 2018 when I heard the ad. Actually, Miss Blair Grant now. The call was made that they were offering classes, and then of course the grants, and that was a pivotal part of it, because even as a woman entrepreneur, in this climate, you don't get that support financially from banks and a lot of the lending institutions. And I'm happy to say that they supported us, they backed us financially, and they made the way smoother, even in terms of transitioning to other financial institutions. You know, they made the funding possible. And of course, even in their advice, post and pre and post advisory service, SBDC, the AA team, they have been my full supporters. They've been my advocates in the whole thing.
That's perfect. We've heard so many great stories about the Access Accelerator program and so many local Bahamian businesses that they have helped to get off the ground and get started, bringing people's visions to reality. Do you enjoy being an entrepreneur and owning your own business?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I think my background is financial and business oriented. And that just kept in line. This is really not my first business, but this is certainly the bigger one in terms of the expansion and everything. But it just gives you a good feeling of ownership, and the fact that I can make a difference in my community, you know, and in people's lives. That's what I want to be able to touch the lives and make them better. And that gives me a good feeling.
Wow, you really sound like you're in the perfect business, and you keep saying service, 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 and you definitely have the personality for it. Now, what do you say to persons who have a business idea but don't know what to do next?
Well, I suggest you go to SBDC. They are able to, you know, even as small as you may think your vision is. Right. And if you have somebody who could be able to encourage you, you know, to know that, you know, this can be a reality. 2018, I would have never thought this would expand and explode to what it is today. You know, I say, oh, well, maybe, you know, I'll do something nice and all of that. But, you know, that is not where the Lord actually led me to do, you know. But with SBDC and the Access Accelerator, they really push you forward. And like I say, the biggest advocates, because when you reach some of those hurdles, or you have some challenges, or even when you doubt yourself, you know, there are persons there who encourage you along the way, who, you know, cheer you on. And, you know, it's just, we're a family now. That's how it turned out to be, especially the groups here in Grand Bahama, you know. And I just want to shout out to my biggest advocate, advisor, Charmaine Johnson. She has been stellar in my life. And in terms of standing by and holding my hand and saying, Nicole, you could do this. This can happen. You're going to break trends and records. And that's what we've been doing.
Yes, well, you've very well said, very inspirational. I'm so happy to hear your story and hear how the Access Accelerator program has helped you. I'd like to thank you, Nicole Johnson, owner of Le Pavillion and Mausoleum, for being up with us this morning, there early on a Friday. I still ain't wake up yet. I still think use a restaurant. I'm hungry. Thank you for joining us on the show.
But you could come to our niche wall.
There you go.
And we also have a gazebo, so whenever you're ready.
Perfect. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
In the Bahamas, small business is big business. More than 90% of the businesses in the Bahamas are classified as micro, small, or medium-sized enterprises, or MSMEs. The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center was created to serve them. We at the Access Accelerator offer a variety of services to our clients: business advisory services, training and entrepreneurial programming, mentorship and incubation, and advocacy.
Join the Click is an initiative started by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions last year when we were trying to figure out how to help business leaders as well as consumers to stay connected. Working with Canoe, working with other partners, working with the government and My Gateway to help them to connect with customers who want to place orders and want to be able to do things in a digital way.
My Gateway. My Gateway is a groundbreaking portal through which clients can request and pay for government services online. We have 28 services. We expect to increase the number of services to a minimum of 200.
I love that we're helping the government and helping our citizens to be more efficient and to use their time more wisely.
I invite you to sign up for mygateway.gov.bs and let us make government work for you. Join the Click.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this fabulous Friday. I'm Anastasia Palatius.
And I'm Mark Daniels, and I'm starting to wake up because the sun is up now. I'm starting to feel the energy. Thank you for joining us dead early on this Friday.
Yay, Mark, you're halfway there. He really is halfway there. So I'm excited to see Mark come back. Well, it's been a great show so far. We learned that La Pavillion is not a restaurant. It is, in fact, a place for handling people's greatest moments, but also some of their saddest moments. So I think that's the best way to put that, right, Mark?
Yeah, shame on me.
And we've got more to come in the second half of the show. We're going to be talking with RBC about how they are celebrating International Women's Day.
Oh yeah, definitely looking forward to that. And the District Grand Lodge of the Bahamas is here to talk about their prostate cancer awareness campaign and other activities. But let's check in again with Brother Godfrey Burnside because it's still looking like it's dead wet outside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Mark, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather at sunrise, high pressure continue to be the dominant feature across the islands, but it generates some windy conditions, and that means we have some hazardous beaching and boating conditions. In the marine forecast, we do have an advisory posted for small craft operators, and you have to stay in the airport over the next several days, and also for you swimmers, the risk of recurrence along the northern eastern coast. So exercise extreme caution. Winds today, northeast to east at 15-20 knots, seas 47 feet. On Saturday, those winds become east at 15-25 knots, seas 5 to 8 feet in northwest Bahamas. Northeast to east at 15-25 knots, seas 5 to 8 for the central and southeastern islands. On Sunday, those winds east to southeast at 15-25 knots, seas 5 to 8 feet in northwest Bahamas. Easterly at 15-25 knots, seas 5 to 8 feet for the central and southeastern islands. The tides. You can expect a high tide at 8:53 this morning. Your next low tide will be at 3:11 this afternoon. High gain tonight at 9:17. Sunset 6:13 this evening. Rises on 6:28. UV index 8. The water temperature 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase. No moon. Standard look. High pressure continues to dominate the weekend with those windy conditions. We're looking at partly sunny, windy, and warm. Slight chance of a couple of passing showers. Most of the showers will happen in late night, early mornings. Temperature daytime will be in the low to mid 80s at daytime, the mid to upper 60s at nighttime. That puts you up on your front look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. Now, International Women's Day is next Tuesday, March 8th, and is a day marked globally for celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. here to tell us about RBC's initiatives and activities for International Women's Day. We are very happy to welcome Lasonya Missick, who's the Managing Director and Vice President of Personal Banking for RBC. She's joined today by Liacarla Adderley, who's the RBC Area Vice President for Business Banking. Lasonya, Liacarla, good morning. Welcome to Bahamas and Sunrise.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for
An absolute pleasure to have you both with us. This is always such a powerful month for me. In the United States, of course, they celebrate women all month. On the 8th, we get to celebrate women internationally. And obviously having this conversation with two of you women who have made it to the very top of the banking sphere is always a thrill for me. And I hope for all of the other young women watching the show that they get to see images of what is possible for them in their careers. Let's first get started by understanding why you think it's important that we observe International Women's Day.
Great. Thanks, Anastasia. And it's always great for us as well to be here and to celebrate International Women's Day. And I think without a doubt, we know that women play a notable role in society, and their contribution is so significant to our countries and communities that it's essential that we pause and we celebrate their achievements. And at RBC, we certainly take the time to do that and to gain an appreciation for the work that women have done along the way. We also believe in being allies for other women that are coming along. And so we're happy to continue on that same path, and very excited about some of the activities that we have coming up over the next few days. But notably, I would say that our theme this year is I Am Limitless. And we just love that theme because, first of all, it causes us to, as women in key roles, to reflect on our accomplishments and to understand what our journey has been like. And then we pay it forward by continuing to be an ally for other women who are also on their I Am Limitless journey. So we are excited about that. And we're looking forward to all that we have going on over the next few days.
Excellent. And I love the theme. Yesterday, I had a conversation with the U.S. Embassy. We were doing a session for women interested in politics, and I was moderating. And we talked about the fact that so many women have limiting beliefs, right? And it's not even that you recognize these beliefs are limited until you're put into circumstances where you may be challenged or told to apply for something, and you question your capacity to do it because you don't have this certification or that. So the idea that we are limitless is a beautiful thing to celebrate because, like you said, it causes us to stop and think, am I acting truly limitless in what I'm doing? So that's phenomenal to hear that RBC is chosen for a theme. Liacarla, I want to ask you now, who do you feel is responsible for taking action on women's issues? And, what are the ways that RBC has been committed to doing this?
Thanks. So, I think we're all responsible, but in particular, women who have made a success of themselves, I think it's important that we set the path and that we act as champions to continue on with the journey. A lot of persons ask, well, why do we celebrate International Women's Day? And it's important that we continue to celebrate this because there's still so much more to be done, right? We've certainly made strides, I believe, in terms of the advancement of women, but we have to continue to call it out. We have to continue to make sure that it's at the forefront. As I said, we've made advances, we've broken some glass ceilings, but there's so much more still to be done. And so we at RBC, we also recognize, of course, that there's a lot to be done. But I'm certainly proud in terms of RBC and the commitment that they've made in terms of increasing the representation of women in leadership and promoting equal access to career opportunities for everyone. In particular, at RBC, women hold many critical roles across our global executive team population. If you look at some of our representation, 51% of new hires are women, 54% of promotions across all roles, and 41% of new executive appointments last year were women.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got the chills when you said that statistic. 41% of at executive leadership. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. And one thing that I have to hit home that's really impressive that in terms of a statistic is that RBC's board of directors is made up of 46% of women. Now that may not be half, but when you look at the global statistic, that's remarkable because the global statistic I think is somewhere around under 20%.
So that is certainly remarkable. Because, we often talk about like women because men, when I get this conversation, I say, well, women run all the banks. And I'm like, well, yes, many of them hold management positions. But if you look at the very senior levels of leadership, it's still very male dominated. So to hear these statistics coming from RBC, it really thrills me, because it means that it really has been a conscious effort. And I love that you use that word again, because you have to be intentional about the change that you wish to see. So I know that RBC is always intentional, and you're even intentional with activities that you do. So what are some of the activities the company has planned to celebrate?
One of the things actually that I believe works well in our culture is that the men that work with us, they support women in our growth and progress. And so to your question, an example of how that's happening is actually today, we're kicking it off with a lunch and learn. We're hosting that for International Women's Day. And it's a combination of strong female leaders that's working across our Caribbean countries. They will be participating and having discussions. Also local female leaders as well. They will be contributing to that lunch and learn. And then the men. So we have a combination of Caribbean, local, and male leaders discussing the importance of International Women's Day and sharing their stories to our entire employee community. So that's going to be exciting as well. We also have a local campaign that I'm very excited about, and I think everyone will enjoy seeing how we're featuring some local Bahamian leaders. We have Laurie Johnson, who is a Bahamian pilot on Fly Dubai. That alone is just amazing to me. Karen Roll, she is the acting inspector of banks and trusts at the Central Bank of the Bahamas. We have Christine Robinson, an amazing female entrepreneur and also the chair for Links Safe House. She'll be featured. Dr. Nakia Forbes, who is the director of the National HIV, AIDS and Infectious Diseases at the Ministry of Health. I'm sure we all know her and the significant contribution she's made during the time of this pandemic. And then Latia Duncombe, who is the acting director general at the Ministry of Tourism. So all of these amazing women will be featured by RBC, and to show that we are just so proud of them. And of course, we are also very focused on always remembering to live our purpose of helping clients thrive and communities prosper. So we would certainly have taken this opportunity to make a contribution. So we will be donating $5,000 to the Links Safe House in support of the work that they continue to do around women in crisis. So very excited about what's to come, and continuing to ensure that at RBC we play our roles in supporting women on their amazing journey and the contribution that they make.
Listen, it sounds phenomenal. Hearing the names of some of these women, the fact that in addition to the celebration of them, you're going to be contributing to their continued protection for those that are struggling, absolutely phenomenal. Congratulations to all of you. Liacarla, we do have to wrap up. But are there any final thoughts that you want to leave with us, whether that's maybe some of the events that we can attend as a public, or ways that we could speak up for inclusion? Any final thoughts for us, Liacarla?
I'll close off with just, a reminder as women, right? And these are things that we often hear repeated, but, they really make sense. And so I encourage everyone, women, of course, in particular, to continue to be bold, brave, speak up. Know your worth, and that's certainly a lesson I wish I'd learned earlier in life.
Yeah.
Definitely know your worth and recognize, what you're bringing to the table, and of course, then take your rightful seat at the table.
Yeah. Hey, can't beat that. Yeah, this has been phenomenal. Every time I get to speak with any of you, I'm just always all smiles, because these are the messages that we need to hear continuously. And Liacarla, you might have said it before, but until we get it down to the cellular level of our DNA, we need to hear it again to show up, to be bold. I love that you said know what you're bringing to the table, and then boom, take your seat. So we are so grateful that you all joined us today. Congratulations to RBC for those phenomenal statistics. Looking forward to seeing more from the upcoming campaign, and we celebrate you. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you. Same to you.
Bye.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
One thing, two things, blue thing, all things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Our world has changed. Many businesses have been closed for months with little or no access to their customers until now. Rev Media can help you remain connected to your customers. Our trusted customized advertising packages and personalized consultants will provide your business with immeasurable support during this challenging time. Your customers are already watching. Rev Media can help you to remain connected. Call us today. Let us help you.
Welcome back. The District Grand Lodge of the Bahamas dates back to 1806 in Grand Turk and 1809 in Great Inagua. Here to talk with us about all that's going on with them are Anthony Bostwick, District Grand Master of the Grand Lodge, Brendon Watson, past Deputy DGM and Chairman of the Installation Committee, Dr. Locksley Munroe, past Master of the Grand Lodge, and Brother William Ramsay McGhee, Grand Master Mason, Grand Lodge of Scotland. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Bahamas.
Good morning, Bahamas. Thank you for having us.
Very, very powerful segment. We're so happy to have you guys on talking to us about prostate awareness this month. So Mr. Bostwick, tell us, what is the vision and goal of the Grand Lodge of the Bahamas?
Well, first of all, we'd like to say thank you for having us again and good morning, Bahamas. And as we said, in Psalms 133, behold, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. And as a nation, we all have a moral obligation at this present time to ensure that our vision is one where we foster not only the health and wealth of our nation, but we look at the social aspects and the development of our country not only from a global perspective, but we have a lot of work to do in our country. And we as Freemasons, with our vision, is to bring our nation together, working together, hand in hand.
Definitely a powerful statement. I love to hear that. Tell us about the work that you do in the communities throughout the islands.
We have numerous programs that we go on that we have conducted in the community and continue to do. As you know, we have laid dormant from the close of Union Lodge in 1923 until 1967. And until that time, we have launched numerous private projects. And this is something that the Grand Lodge of Scotland and the District Grand Lodge of the Bahamas, we're working hand in hand because we have to now let people know what we are doing. We continue to conduct ourselves in a very, quiet setting because we do what is necessary, from scholarships to mentoring programs to feeding programs. To hurricane relief, and even the wider study of climate change, et cetera, et cetera. We have so many programs going on privately. But one of the things that we are looking at is our youth, the youth of our nation. Our focus right now is not only to uplift, educate, and inform, but to get in those schools and continue to do our mentoring program because many of our youth, especially our young men, we need to shift our focus on the young populace of our country. And at the same time, as the Grand Lodge is focused on prostate awareness and the program that they launched, we are doing this, we are following suit likewise because we know we have a high rate of prostate cancer, et cetera, amongst our men in our society.
Wow, that's a lot of contributions that your lodge does, once again, for the country, to communities. And for those that don't know, they wouldn't be aware, as you said, you guys move in silence, helping us to build this nation. So we definitely appreciate the work that you do.
Thank you.
So Mr. Watson, tell us, there's an installation that's going to be coming up. Tell us, who will be getting installed?
Well, yes, truly, Brother Anthony Bostwick, District Grand Master of the Bahamas. And that would take place on Saturday. And before we get to the Saturday, this morning we will pay a courtesy call on the Governor General. And this afternoon we will have a welcome reception for the Grand Master Mason and the District Grand Masters and brethren from around the Caribbean and our own brethren. And tomorrow On Saturday, we will have the installation of Brother Anthony Bostwick, and follow that we will have the banquet at the Bahamas Center. On Sunday, we'll have a church service, and after the church service, we will have a brunch at the site of the temple. On Monday, we will travel to Grand Bahama. We'll do a courtesy call on the minister at Grand Bahama and do an island tour and a lodge meeting on Monday night. On Tuesday morning, we travel back to Nassau. We'll have a lodge meeting in Nassau. And on Wednesday, we would then head to Jamaica. And that will finish the Bahamas section of installation.
Wow, that's a very active schedule. Sounds like a lot of celebrations going on, and important occasion for the Grand Lodge. Mr. McGhee, so tell us, what work do the Scottish Masonic lodges do around the world?
Hi, good morning, Mark. Thank you very much for having us on today. I think Anthony has given you a very good idea of what's happening here, and that can be replicated literally around the world. The Grand Lodge of Scotland has Scottish lodges in over 40 countries throughout the world, and we do our level best to assist the communities in which we meet throughout the world. Over the past 2 years, in particular during the pandemic, we have, in monetary terms, put almost £2 million of aid into the communities, whether it be here in Bahamas, whether it be back in Scotland, whether it be in Malaysia or wherever. And on top of that, my predecessor started a project in relation to prostate cancer. And that is ongoing. I've continued it, but I hope to bring the main part to a close in November this year. As of today, we have already donated £820,000 sterling to prostate cancer to aid research into this insidious disease. And the target is that in November, when I get reinstalled in November, I'll be able to hand over the final check. And our project right now is called Make It a Million. So hopefully by November this year, Scottish Freemasons throughout the world will have contributed over £1 million to try and assist in finding cures for this disease.
Wow, definitely a major contribution, and so happy to hear that as men, we're coming together internationally to tackle this problem that you said, this very insidious disease. Dr. Munroe, tell us about the prostate awareness campaign going on and how can we get involved?
Well, primarily, as Grandmaster mentioned, prostate cancer is the second most common cancer in men, second only to skin cancers. And in the Bahamas, 1 in 6 males will have prostate cancer, and that's related to our ancestry, because around the world, globally, prostate cancer impact Africans far more than they impact Caucasians. And in our country, we have a problem with obesity, and that also contributes to our incidence of prostatic cancer. We are the 14th highest in the world right here in the Bahamas, even though we may be one of the smallest countries. Primarily between our urologists and our primary care physicians, we try to encourage males in particular to pay attention to their prostatic health. And I guess, Mr. Daniels, most men don't like the idea about digital rectal exam. And on social media, they put this thing with the big finger and all the rest of that, and men just don't appreciate that at all. I've seen it so often in my practice. So, but I think there's something we speak of in medicine called grieving, And there are about 5 phases to grieving, and denial is the first one. So what we have to work around is when our patients, the men, our Bahamian men, deny the fact that they are at risk for prostatic cancer. And then, even though they may have it, they are afraid to be treated in the manner that is accepted, which is with the digital rectal exam, your PSA on an annual basis. You possibly need to have surgery or radiotherapy. This may impact your erectile function. And you know, men have all sorts of complexity, but mental health is very important. So it's not about denying what they're saying. So those are the things that we really have to deal with. And our urologists, we have at least 3 qualified ones here in the Bahamas. I'm a general surgeon. I deal with prostate. I have dealt with it in my training. But we have 3 urologists, and I think particularly Dr. Robin Roberts, he has done a pretty good job with dealing with prostatic cancer in this country. Dr. Greg Pinto, he continues. So yeah, but basically we have to educate the men, because the good thing is if you can find prostate cancer early, literally you got like a 98 to 100% cure rate at 5 years. Yes, so if you can find it early, it means that you can eliminate that problem. And the erectile dysfunction and so on and so forth, those can be dealt with other mechanisms as well.
Definitely some important words of advice there. We'd like to thank you all, representatives from the District Grand Lodge, both here in the Bahamas and the Grand Lodge of Scotland, talking to us about prostate awareness, talking about your installations in the upcoming week. You guys have a busy set of events coming up. We would like to thank you for coming on Bahamas at Sunrise dead early on this Friday.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.
Yes. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
So much for joining us today on Bahamas at Sunrise. We are so happy that you stayed with us. We hope that you enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. We wish you a wonderful weekend.
Yes, thank you for joining us dead early. I got all my energy now, so I'm ready. Let's go. Let's run another show. Run the show back.
No, we're not going to do that. So we'll see you on Monday.
Okay.